Many people are familiar with the American judicial system, and some even know someone currently being affected by the system. But what many people don't know is how inefficient and discriminatory it is. The very first enforcers in this country were runaway slave hunters, and when slavery was abolished, those hunters became the police force, and the plantation owners became politicians and lawmakers. This means that the entire judicial system that America is based on has inherently racist roots. The problems of this system can range from an overfunded police force to a bloated prison system and racial discrimination in laws in general. Many people don't understand that this system was built for discrimination by white supremacists, and incredible reform is needed if we are to surpass this. Many laws passed in the early days were discriminatory towards black people, and as time went on, laws didn't become less discriminatory, but they became more subtle in how they were discriminating. For example, when Richard Nixon declared the war on drugs, he was actually declaring war on colored people, because the war on drugs allowed police officers to use their discretion, and that ended up singling out black people way more often than white people. And we'll circle back to that. Another discriminatory law passed is the stop and frisk, and this is a tool to be used by racist police officers. And what I mean by that is, for example, in New York City, which is roughly 24% black communities, 50% of stop and frisk stops were black people. And that is way out of proportion for the demographics of that area. And this brings us to police. Stop and frisk is just one of many ways that police are able to discriminate against people of color. And if you look at the statistics, black people are 7 times as likely to have force used against them than white people, and 2.5 times as likely to have deadly force used against them. And what all comes together, this means that 1 in every 1,000 black people can expect to die at the hands of a police officer. And even the ones who aren't killed aren't free. And this brings us to the bloated prison systems. If you look at the demographics of the United States population, only 13% of the population is black people. And 38% of the prison population is black people. With these two statistics, it's very clear that racial discrimination is evident in all levels of the judicial system. And circling back to the war on drugs, 1 in every 5 prisoners are charged with a nonviolent drug-related offense, which means that 1/5 of all prisoners don't necessarily need to be there. The prison budget is $182 billion yearly, which is an incredible drain on society and taxes. And if you could cut that back by 1/5, you would have more than enough funds to invest in rehabilitation centers and health clinics to help people who are addicted to drugs get better and re-enter society. I hope that these data points have shown you that reform is absolutely needed and that our law enforcement system is greatly discriminatory towards people of color, specifically black people. This has been going on for as long as the system has been in place and will continue to until drastic measures are taken.